Hopefully I didn't miss anything important. I'll go check out the not barracks. The smithy. Maybe Vincent will be in today. Need to find someone who's part of the guard that I can talk to. Hey. Sorry to interrupt you, Vincent.
How can I assist you?
I was gonna ask if, well, get some help with the training you mentioned today. Or maybe do some work.
You choose god-awful timing. I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart.
Well, then you can say no. I'm not forcing you in any way. You sure?
No, don't take it so personally. Sweet God, you glass frame boy.
No, I'm not taking it. I don't want you to...
Just...
Okay.
Whew, I swear.
I just don't want you to do work when you don't want to.
Oh my God. Quiet, my boy. I don't do the self-pity thing. It really tires me out aggressively. Yeah, just...
Okay.
Look in the last one. There we go. Look at that. A little bit of patience, a little bit of waiting, a little bit of less crying. Makes the whole thing go by. Boy.
The way you spoke made it seem like it was more than just wood.
Grumbling to yourself doesn't help either. Come on. So.
Well, yeah. We need to start the training, because...
Then you do more of it. See what it is?
What?
It's okay.
I wasn't grumbling at all.
It's okay. Deep breath. Deep breath. So.
Alright.
Alright. So, you're wanting to make armor.
Wait a sec. I'm going to remove my weapons just in case they get in the way. Well, I mainly wanted to start by just learning smithing in general. I think you mentioned something like starting with a helmet. The end goal is armor, yes, but I'm still very much a beginner in the first place.
Alright, anything else?
Today, no. I think what you mentioned was starting with a helmet or something like that. Said that most people start with it. I'm not really sure.
Helmet or a knife, depending. Helmet or a knife.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to make a helmet or a knife?
Well...
Make a helmet, because I might smack you on the head.
I was gonna say that, actually, because if I'm going to be working towards making armor, a helmet would probably be better to start with.
Make a sick-ass mask.
Both have their own...
I can do better for you, please.
Both have their own intrinsical values into why you'll be crafting one or the other.
Well, eventually,
Hello.
I'd like to learn both sides, but my current goal is armor, so...
Of course, it's different things that you learn from both, so...
Alright.
We'll go ahead and get you started with the lesson. I suppose if you... learning how to do a forge, so I suppose if you want to listen to... So, we have two things here. Let me put on a shirt right quick.
Actually, should I take off my shirt? This might be flammable. It's not exactly high quality.
Oh! No. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
The only reason why I end up shirtless is because I work so much by the forge, but also doing lumberjacking outside and exercising, you end up a sweaty fucking mess in
I
general.
usually do the same
So,
thing when I'm working for long periods of time, so I understand.
Hey, Vincent.
Fantastic. Hello. So, we have two things here. We have an ingot, we have ore, alright? An ingot is refined ore. So what you need to do, what at least we do every day, right? After people finish mining, we don't ask them to refine things for us. We ask them to mine them and then deliver them into this box right here. We will then take it out early in the day, clean it to the best of our abilities, basically breaking away any leftover rock, stone, dirt, or anything of the nature that we can. And then we take it and we place it into one of the coops that we actually put just above the actual flames. What this will do is this will then melt it purely into the ingot that we have here. Now, of course, once this is done, there is still a little bit of refining that needs to be done, right? We go through, make sure it's clean, maybe even put it back through the ringer one more time, just to make sure that it is smooth and pure. Because whenever you're making armor, even the microest little bit of dirt in between the metal ores that you're working with causes damage. Not damage in the traditional sense, but it makes insecurities, cracks, breaks, little bits of damage within the armor, so that when a sword or something hits you, instead of having the refined steel that's protecting you, instead you end up with a shattered piece of equipment and a blade in your chest. And if you're ever going to be making any kind of armor, even if it's for yourself, always pristine, highest of quality. Never cheap out, never get lazy. Now,
Okay.
I'm not going to put you through the process of going through and smelting this and making this, because it's actually relatively easy. Most of it quite literally is just placing this into this, letting it melt down, placing it over, smacking it, breaking it, cleaning it, going through, putting it back through the process again, at least 1-2 times over. Instead, we're going to prioritize how to make a piece of equipment. Now, what do you think is probably the most important thing about making a helmet?
The base, I guess?
Measurements, my boy. So, whenever it comes to most pieces of gear, you can make generalized gear, right? A simple helmet, simple piece of armor, use straps and things of that nature to tighten it down to any fit and frame. But not here. I like to try to practice it. Old teacher of mine taught it to me, that every piece of gear that you should make should be personalized. Now, yes, this means it'll take longer, more expensive, more things to use, but instead of someone visiting you every single day for a new repair, they visit you every other week, happy and excited over the fact that that personal piece of gear you made them protected them when they needed it most. So, step one is measurements. What I like to do is I like to use a simple tape of paper, sprawl it out, wrap around to the person that I need to, and then I mark it. Then, once I've done all the measurements that I need, I'll then rip and cut each one to help me make the mold. So for you, we're making a helmet. So we're going to go over your forehead, move your head out of the way. There we go. Your chin, right around. And then just to be safe, around here as well. So, now we have all of our marks.
Okay.
So, we'll go ahead and rip each one. So, we can get working on our mold. Now, you can use a couple of different kinds of molds. Me personally, I've always been a fan of using sand or clay. Some people like to kind of freeform it a little bit. Essentially what they'll do is they'll just hammer out the metal, shape it to a generalized purpose, and then use their measurements to kind of reform it back out. Now for a simple helmet, that's the process that we're going to be using. If we were making something more like your chest plate or your gauntlets or things of that nature, we would actually use a clay base to kind of get a good idea. But luckily here, we have a couple of generalized frames that we'd like to use. So here she is. Looks like a very poorly made clay head. So here she is. What we like to use this for is essentially we will hammer out the simple bit of the helmet. Now once you've done this enough times, you already know exactly the kind of frame you're making. But this is a good way to get you an understanding of what you need to be looking for, right? Once you flatten out the metal, you'll need to work the curvature around the actual head. So one of the best things I always suggest to any beginner, right, is once you've hammered it out and you've started working on shaping it, keep taking it over and keep working on it. Now it's going to cool down over time, right? So you're going to have to put it back over the forge. Now over time, this weakens the metal, and the more you hammer it, the more you work on it, the more it weakens. So that's why, especially as a forge smith, it's insanely important to make sure that when you take it off the fire and you put it there, you are working on it to the best of your abilities, getting it just right. Right? Because once you get it just right and it cools down to that state you like, then we get to the refinement stage, which is actually a lot easier than it sounds. Most people think it's very complicated and they freak out and they get all angry and upset because they're just like, oh, I have to shave here, shave there, use this, use that. But I think it's relatively relaxing. All you're doing is you're going through, using some materials to go ahead and shave it down. I like to use like a little customized whetstone that I have where I've cut it just right so I can fit it in there and shave around where I need to, get it nice and smooth how you like it. And then we like to use a little filament that we have to basically go over the insides. This way, whenever you put it on, rather than having cold metal touch you, there's a very light filament of a mix of honey that we actually like to use that will burn down a little bit, so that way it feels nice and soft on the skin.
Okay.
That's why your armor feels so comfy, by the way. Another reason why we like to do it is I like to train comfortability in the armor that we make. Main reason why is because I come from somewhere where I was a slave for a large portion of my life. I'm used to wearing disgusting, dirty, old pieces of gear. That one right there was a soldier. They're also used to wearing it. The scuffs, the scrapes to the skin, leads to infection from time to time, the damage, the worn out nature.
It's a good example.
It wears you down, right? But something that feels comfortable, that's the kind of thing that keeps you safe and secure. It does more than just obviously make you feel comfy. It keeps you safer, right? So once again, take that bit of extra time. There is nothing wrong with taking your time. If someone gives you a rush order, well, it just means you're going to be putting in that extra fucking effort. But that's why you up the pay, to make sure they pay you correctly. Okay. Payment's very, very important because it's not just earning money. It is saying, I believe my gear, my equipment, the things I make is worth this, right? You do it too high, too much of an ego. You do it too low, you're giving away your talents. And people won't respect you as much. They'll think that you're cheap and they'll use that kindness against you. So make sure that if whenever it comes to your pricing, it's important. Okay. It's a statement for yourself. So, let's go ahead and get you started. These two should do. So, what we're going to get you started with is working on this helmet. Now, we're going to be using 2 ingots. All right? Reason why is because the iron that's actually in this area isn't as full as I would like it to be. I have to put in a little bit of extra effort to try to get a full ingot as much as I'd like to. And it's not that the mines or the iron or metal that's out there is bad. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of people have been mining, a lot of people have been grabbing. I do the best that I have, right? So 2 should be able to fill it in just fine. So what we do, just to get everything started, is we need to go ahead and get them all heated up. So, we're gonna go ahead and let that sit. Basically, the fires are going to warm up the metal. Now, we don't want it to get molten, right? So the color of the metal is actually gonna be the most important part. This material right here is actually designed to be able to handle the heat. But once the underneath of it gets to be a solid yellow, that means the metal is basically being cooked. Right? You leave it up there for too long, it'll melt. And then you have a fluid, which technically, some projects, that's what we want. But for this project, not what we want. Not the slightest. Because of the effect it'll have with the actual metal. It'll basically mold it down. And this iron is not very good for that. Now, the steel that we made in there, that's good for that. The iron, not as much. So, we're going to let that sit for just a moment. Let me show you steel, though. So, one of the things that you're also going to have to learn, especially when it comes to working any kind of forge, is learning some of the alchemical reactions that can be created because of it. Now, if we were in some places, I'd be able to fabricate steel like it was nothing. But here, we have to play it a little bit careful. So what we do, in fact, actually, is we take the forge, we put a covering over the fire, right? But we leave little holes in there so the charcoal and things can rise upwards. And then we hang the iron over it. And because of the reaction to the iron and the charcoal flicks that are coming upwards, it'll naturally cook us steel.
Okay.
One of the most important things, especially when it comes to working any kind of forge, is learning all the little things that you can do. Because right now we're currently using a forge that's not as advanced as I would like. That's what we're making over there. But with this one, you're going to have to learn some workarounds. Which, in my opinion, for anyone who's going to be a beginner, is very important. So that way, if you ever decide to leave the town and go anywhere else, you can be handed any forge and master it in no time.
Okay.
All right. All right, she seems to be cooked well. So, we'll go ahead and pull her on over. Now make sure, protect your hand, all right? If it's glowing, it's gonna fucking hurt. So, we'll lower this down. There we go. So you see how the metal is glowing like it is?
Yeah.
Any more than that, and we would be in trouble. So, what you're going to want to do now there we go. All right.
There's Miss Monday. Again, I passed the commission off to them.
All right.
Hi.
So I've got these two together. So
Are you
go ahead
okay?
and get you started. What you're going to want to do,
Kill me, but it tasted my steel instead.
hold onto your tool, strong, all right? And we're going to focus on flattening out the ore, all right? This is going to take the two ingots, going to merge them together into a nice flat piece that we're wanting, right? So all you're going to have to do,
You just want to
with all your force, start smashing the metal together. Now make sure that you're not just hitting one area repeatedly. You want to make sure to spread it all out evenly. So that way you have a nice flat piece that we're looking for. Come on, give it a go.
All right.
A little bit more force. There you go. There you go. Now make sure that you're getting a good flat spread, all right? There's going to be some bumps naturally. That's okay, but we want to make sure that it's nice and flatly together.
Okay. I think I actually saw her.
There you go.
when we were coming back in.
Now, you're going to start feeling a little bit of burning from the actual metal that you're smacking right now. That's okay. You're going to have to get used to that. It's natural. Over time, it'll feel like nothing. And also your clothes. You're right. They probably are easily flammable. Some bits of them are going to burn.
Yeah.
This is normal. This is good. We're going to get you used to it. If you're going to start working around the forge, you're going to need good clothes for it. Don't worry. I'll go ahead and see about getting some made for you. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Keep hitting it. There you are. It's okay. It's hot, it's uncomfortable, and it burns a good bit, but eventually it'll become home to you. That smell of the metal, all the fumes and things in the air, that's good. That's what we're looking for. It feels good in the lungs. There you go. All right. Stop for a minute. Okay. So let's go and see what we got. So it's still a bit bumpy, right? Still got some grooves here, so some grooves there, a little bit thick right there, a little bit less right there, but we've got some good progress. Now, as you can see, the metal is already cooling down to a pretty good degree, right? So what we're going to do is a quick and easy move. Now, you're going to need to be careful if you ever do this. If you do it wrong, you're going to fuck it up grossly. We're going to pick it up. Put it around. All we're going to do is focus on keeping her nice and warm, but not too much, because if we do, then it's going to start melting and we don't need it drooping. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're not holding on to it with too much force, or else you're going to start creating indents that are going to completely fuck what you just did.
Alright.
All right. I want you to prioritize flattening out this one and moving the material over so we can get a good even spread, all right?
Okay.
Keep at it. You're doing good.
It's fun watching you teach. You can tell you're very passionate about it. It's like,
Well, well, my father was a better teacher than me, but I tried my best. Ooh, careful with your hand, careful with your hand. Move to the side, move to the side. Careful, careful. There you are. It's all right. I'm trying to save you from early fucked up thumbs. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. You're doing good, you're doing good. You've got the general motion in. There you are. All right. Stop right there. How's she looking? Tell me how she's looking. Take a look at her. Do you see any problems?
There's a few. Still looks pretty bumpy.
All right.
I think I
Now,
might have focused
that's
the right
okay,
side of it too
because-
much.
We're working on a helmet, all right? So a little bit of bumps, that's okay. That's all right. In fact, natural grooves that we can work off of, which is exactly what we want. So there is still a little bit more we can move here, but I'm going to teach you a little bit of a trick that we can do to help fix that problem easy peasy. So we need to get it grooved to this head. All right? Now, what we're going to want to do, what I suggest, right, is keep the head right here, all right? And we're going to use this natural little bit right here. So all this is just a hardened piece of metal that we like to use, so that way we can... Where is...
Can I have that?
Pick this up.
my belts.
All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to use this instrument right here to hold this so that we can start smashing the metal around the instrument, all right? Reason why we're going to be doing that is because we're going to basically start to naturally... Here, mind if I show you?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
So, because unfortunately it's not going to be able to sit up there flatly because we have this little bend down here. So what we're going to be focusing on is over time, working from the outside in, not the inside out, but the outside in, starting to get that natural bend
It's not mine.
exactly
Oh, that's you're talking about my sword.
how you want it.
I was talking about the dangly thing on your sword.
These
sparks burn my eyes.
Sword.
Yes, they do. You get used to them over time.
I thought you were talking about this thing.
So, once we've gotten the outside, you see it's already started to bend inwards. Now, you have to be sure this is where working fast is the most important, because as it starts to cool down, you could end up damaging it. Now, one of the nice things about how we have it is, as we work, we actually start to spread the rest of the material where we need it to go. And all you have to do is just continue to hold on to it and move where you need to get that bend how we need it. All right?
So I went to learn to maybe help it down more.
All right. Go ahead. Here.
Learned a bit of
So, go ahead and grab onto the outside.
Sure, Vincent will...
There you go. And go ahead and start getting it to get that natural bend, all right? We want roughly about a dome, all right? So just grab on and keep moving around it as you work.
I do look different.
There you go.
And my horns got longer because I ate so many crystals, and he's gonna be my scale fucker.
Oh my god! Hi! Keep working, you're doing great. You look different. Oh my god, so you do. You said you started eating materials? I remembered exactly. How are you doing?
I'm good. Ish. Well,
That's
not
good
good.
to hear.
I mean, I made it back.
Understandable, you look gorgeous.
Thanks. Yeah, one of your.
Welcome.
I like this piece.
Come here.
No, but I do have some leftover materials if you'd like to have something to munch on.
Yeah.
I got you.
I can make a drink based off it.
Are you wanting metal or are you wanting something else?
I haven't had metal in a while. Mostly crystals and gems.
A little bit of iron, a little bit of copper.
Yes. Thank you.
Very welcome. Oh, careful, careful, careful. So you want to make sure not to do too much force on the inside. You want to be more gentler towards the inside, a little bit more aggressive towards the outside. It'll naturally bend with it as you do, right? Because that's why we have that little material on the inside. It basically does the bending for you, right? You just need to focus on more of the outside. If you want to go inside, be gentle with it, right? Because you're moving the whole thing together. Keep at it, keep at it.
Yeah. I'd worry about where it connects here with the nails, but aside from that, it looks fairly well constructed.
I mean, it doesn't stop. Look.
That's the important thing.
As it snaps.
That's fair. Just worry about it, like, catching.
All right, you're doing well, you're doing well. Remember, move this where you need it to if you need to migrate around the instrument, all right? We need to get the whole thing rounded.
This thing's also kind of thick, too.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and find the gore. Apparently he does drinks now. Apparently.
Oh yes, he's made a full-on brewery just outside of town.
Oh. I didn't expect that.
I've yet to visit.
All right, it's starting to cool down just a little bit. So let's go ahead and grab a hold of it, just like before. So I want you to watch it with me, all right? So it's all about watching the materials as they begin to heat up, right?
Alright, well, it was
Some
nice
more
meeting
new
you.
people.
You want to make sure
you too.
that not too much is getting in one location. We need as much of it together as
Boots,
possible.
sword, gloves.
Okay.
I will make things for you personally, so long as you don't eat other people's things.
Definitely not.
I will personally make things for you.
Please.
That one smells kind of good. Okay,
This
I'll
one's
try.
important.
All right.
I ate through these.
All right, just bring it right back on over. All right, you are almost done with this part, all right? I want you to keep at it, all right? You're doing good, all right?
Just keep doing what I was doing before.
Yep, just keep doing what you were doing before.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm gonna go wander about a bit more. I wish you luck in your teachings.
Understood, you take care.
Yeah.
There you go, you're doing good. Ooh, a little bit more on this side, a little bit more on this side. There you are.
Trained under someone.
Do you have any? Can I eat some of it?
No, because you will end up like this, and it will slowly eat your body and kill you.
All right, all right. Well, we still got it warm. Let's go ahead and stop there. Now, I want you to pick it up with those tonsils.
Well,
Alright.
the first day I came to town, someone feed me plasma.
All right, let's try to see how she sits on top. Place it.
For last
Understood.
That's not bad, that's not bad. But we're going to need to get the rest of this downwards. So we have our start, right? So now we need to get it placed down so more around, all right? So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to do more of what you just did, but now we're going to be having the entire rest bit go down. Right?
Okay.
This is the safest way that you can. It takes a little bit longer doing it this way, but the reason why we do it this way is to make sure that whenever we start up here that we don't immediately break off the metal or cause any damages. Now that we have a natural bend, it'll help avoid from any further cracks or extra damages that we could commit while doing it. So I want you to keep hold of it, and then I want you to get the rest of it to go around the head, all right?
Alright.
Consistently with
Now, general purpose heads like this are actually made in a way that they're supposed to be bigger than the natural head. Reason for this is so this way we can actually go ahead and shape out the rest to how we need it for your head specifically.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Alright.
All right, now you're going to be a little bit more forceful. We need to bend the rest of this metal, so go ahead and grab onto it and start turning it how you need it. There you are. There you go. See, that's the aggression of a forge smith right there. That's what we like to see.
What was that?
I have a lot of things.
Something that we like to teach beginners is how irritating it can get to have the flames and stuff hit you. Use that aggression a little bit, right? Not too much. Don't let it control your crafting. Let your mind control your crafting, not your heart. Your heart is the fuel. Your mind is the crafter.
Alright.
There you go. You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep hitting it. There you go. Keep bending it naturally. Make sure to get all the way around. Every little bit has to be just right. There you go. You're doing good. You're doing very, very good. All right. All right, start focusing on this side a bit more. This side a lot more. If you need to, you can turn it around. So that way you can get a better angle for it. Remember, you can turn it all the way you need it to. There you go. Remember, always work smarter, not harder.
It's hard to do this. Give me a notice.
No, I don't think I will.
Not to continue looking for people.
Sorry.
Alright, alright.
I rolled off the road.
Okay, alright. Alright. How do I see this? Alright. Okay, most beginners get it stuck. Good on you. Alright, I see you're paying attention. Alright, so, next thing that we're going to do, right? We've got it shaped around, but now we need to fit it how you want it. Now, this is the part where your design comes in. What kind of a helmet design are you thinking of?
Something simple. I was going to go with like a visor as well, so.
Something simple, something with a visor?
Yeah. Not like simple as in like a kettle helmet, but. Yeah.
Alright. Give me just a moment. Okay, so you're thinking like classical, like with the little visor that comes down kind of thing?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Extremely easy. Alright. So, here's what I'm going to do. You've done a lot of the complicated part, right? We have shaped it down, but everything else is essentially just refinement, as well as taking off certain segments and then cutting them down and shaping them. I'm going to handle the rest of this. I think this is a good starter lesson. You have shaped it, you have gotten the metal down, and you understand what it means to do this. Let me handle the rest of this for you. The next time you come on by, through the days that go by, all right? We're going to sit down together, and I'm going to show you how it means to cut, refine, and reshape the metal. All right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You did good. You did good.
Thank you.
I'll handle the rest for you. You've no worries. Once we get the helmet part done, then we get working on torsos, which also means I get to show you how to do tan leather. It'll be fun, I promise. Well, okay. Fun to me. Yeah, hopefully it's fun to you.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll try to stop by every day that you're here. I don't exactly have a whole lot of constant work.
Oh, 100%. If you want to come on by early, if you want extra credit in my book, help me out in the mornings. Don't worry, you will learn plenty.
Yeah, once I get better at it, I do plan to help out the smith and more than just making my own stuff as well. It's, I guess,
the only way to get better
an
is
interest
consistency.
So. Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and handle the rest of this so we can go ahead and get this started for you, all right?
Okay. Do you need me to still be here, or?
No, you are perfectly fine. Don't worry. I'll handle the rest of this side. It's going to be a lot of me basically staring and cutting away for a little bit, so it's going to be a lot of boring work.
Well, so I don't much have anything else to do. Maybe I could gather some materials for the smith, things like wood or ore.
If you'd like to. We're actually doing relatively fine on everything at the moment, but if you'd like to gather any extra, just like normal, I will make sure you're paid.
All right, yeah, I'll do that until I'm needed by the guard or something.
Of course, go right ahead.
Are there any more pickaxes, or will I need to check in storage?
Please be careful up there.
Oh, storage, unfortunately.
Okay. What do we need more of? Ore or wood?
Like I said, we're doing fine with both, genuinely.
Okay. And I'll start with wood for now, since there's one right here. Next here. I'm not going to use the cart this time. I'm just going to do one tree.
Alright, sounds good.
Hell yeah. Some training. That's awesome. I love how it wasn't just a simple training. He went for the whole process of it, and even like I didn't do perfect. I like how he, over time, would be like, no, that was meh, and stuff like that. It wasn't just a simple... I don't know, I liked it. I love blacksmith RP just in general. I know a decent bit about weapon smithing, but armor I have no fucking clue about. Well, that being said, I'm not like an actual weaponsmith, but I know a decent bit about it because I practice with swords and stuff. So you kind of study that sort of shit. Yeah. Which makes it, well, I'm excited because I want to do a lot more blacksmith RP. It's once I actually get the proper training and make the armor, I'm going to continue to do stuff. Because whenever I'm not doing guard work, I plan to do that, or like handyman stuff, cutting down trees, etc. Just because I find the more, like that sort of, the material gathering, the crafting, that sort of roleplay, I find it really fun. Alright, I'm doing to ping a DM for this. That one's already cut down. I could do this one. I would have I'd be able to... I don't know why. I'm lagging decent bit. I don't think I have anything open that I don't need. Yeah, no, it's fucking... I can't pronounce his name because of my stutter, I'm very sorry, but... He's awesome. I've seen him multiple other RPs. He's someone that, honestly, in terms of roleplay, I've looked up to a lot. Like someone that I've wanted to roleplay with for a bit. Don't think he remembers me much from other RPs. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna assume, but... He played our teacher for the Tower of Champions. He was like the kind of coach. He was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. He's great at teaching. The both RP, like in-character RP interactions I've had with him have been him teaching my character something. It's great. And then so excited to do more. More of the, more blacksmith stuff. Even after he's done churning. Waiting for DM, because I have to ping whenever I get down tree. So yeah, I originally wasn't going to get on today, because wasn't feeling great, didn't really have the energy for roleplay. But I ended up deciding, fuck it, why not? So that's why today was a little bit of a late start, hence the title of the episode. But yeah. Now there is a chance power might go out where I am, because there's apparently a wind warning. And they're saying just be prepared for power to go out. So if I suddenly disappear and stream suddenly goes offline, that's why. If it comes back before the end of the RP, I'll definitely come back. I'll just start the stream again and I'll just name it like part 2. It'll be 2 VODs, unfortunately, but... Well, 2 highlights, but still. Hopefully it doesn't go out. I'm hoping not. It went out last night, but there wasn't like it wasn't high winds, so... I don't know what happened. Something did. Now, I don't know if there's anything going on in RP today. Like, any big events? Because today's session was, had some, like, emotes near it. I assume, because I think today's Lunar New Year, I believe. So I believe those emotes were simple as that. So, I don't know if this is supposed to be an in-character event today, because of that. I'm not sure, but...
DM present.
Hello. I'm going to be cutting down the tree. And after I cut it down, I'm going to be cutting it into 2 so I can carry it over there.
Oh, okay.
Just letting you know. I guess I'll ping when...
Alright.
I'll ping again once I do end up cutting it. I was just told that I need to ping a DM whenever I am cutting down trees. So...
Yeah, no, just so that way we can let
Yeah.
you know if there are trees, if they've been cut down, which you knew, stuff like that. You don't need to ping again once you cut it, I already know.
Okay, do you want me to wait until you tell me that it goes down, or... Like,
Yeah, just like that.
last time I did it, the
Yeah.
other DM brought a prop, so I don't know if that's needed.
It's not needed. Just,
Okay.
ping it out until you feel like it's ready.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. Alright. Time to go shirtless because work. Alright. We're gonna do what we did last time for this sort of stuff. Dice roller. I didn't bring up the character sheet. Let me do that. Dice roller. So before, I believe what we did is... I think... Was it D20 each hit? I think something like that. The D20... It was something like D20 each hit. If I get 3 ones, I believe it was an injury. I think it was D20 every like 5 or 10 hits. I think the plan was to get 50. And like the total. Though that would be a lot. Maybe we should do a D10. No, let's do like a D8 or D8. Let's do D8. 3 ones progresses the injury. I believe I roll a D12 for the injury progression. And if I get to 50 in total, then that means it cuts down. That's what I usually did it. Or D6, then I'll do D6 instead. So every 10 hits, I'll do a D6. So. Actually, should I just roll it over and over again until I get to 50 and then just roll as many times as I rolled it? That might be easier. I don't have to stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oh god. 12, that's 120 times. Alright, so I have to do it 130 times. Oh god. It's gonna be hard to keep track. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Because I've already lost track of how much we're doing it. Heard something. I don't know. How should we determine how many times I need to hit it? Without having to, like, hit the dice roll every single fucking hit. Should it be, like... Maybe I just hit it, like, 50 times? Or I might have it where I roll it every like 10 hits again. I'm gonna redo that. Just because it's hard to keep track. Yeah, it means I'm gonna have to like hit the dice roll every like 10 hits. That's fine. Ah, shit. Oh well. 1, 2, 3. So. You know what? I can keep a track of 20, so I'm gonna roll 2 times each time. Oh, hello.
Getting lumber?
Yeah. For the smith. I help them out whenever I'm not doing guard work. Did you need anything?
I did, actually.
Oh. Alright. What's going on?
Got a report issued for me from the magistrate's office. You
Alright.
were reported about your use and carrying
yes.
of weapons inside of the clinic, as well as the interrogation of somebody that was receiving medical attention under the express disapproval of the clinic staff.
As I told them, I apologized and said I'll pay whatever fine to get any reprimand that I might need. To my knowledge, the only part that they told me about that they didn't like was pulling out a weapon as an act of intimidation in the clinic. The
people we're getting medical attention to, and you're not the magistrate. It's not in your place to interrogate a person, especially not in a medical situation.
The person I was interrogating was not one of the ones getting medical attention. They had them strapped to a bed.
Regardless, when we're in the clinic, you're not supposed to be up in arms.
I understand.
It's supposed to be a no-weapon zone.
Then were you told what one of the other doctors did?
What did one of the other doctors do?
When I was told, I believe it was Ava, told me that one of the people that we captured that they were doing medical on tried to resist being restrained or something like that. And from what I was told, one of the doctors in training stabbed them in the neck as a way to get them to stop resisting. I'm sure you can guess what happened after that. They died. In front of their sister as well. So while I'm not going to argue against any charges I have or anything like that, I feel I should bring that up. That being said, I didn't witness it. Well, I witnessed them dying, but not the actual act of it. Ava's the one that told me, so they'd probably be the better one to talk to about that. I didn't know about the whole no weapon rule in the clinic, so still not an excuse. I won't do it again. But I don't know. Guess that just maybe it was just my emotions at the time, but didn't sit right with me. From what I heard, at least. But I'll make sure to not do that again. If whatever reprimand you have, I'll take it. Whether it be a fine or whatever.
Luke, look. What happened in there, if it's not going to be something that you can get a handle on, You need to remove yourself from the situation or don't go in the first place.
I didn't interrogate the person out of emotion about the person dying. I learned about that after. Pulling out the weapon for interrogation was more just my fault.
Interrogation is done by the magistrate. They're trained to do that. It's our job to detain the person and make sure that nobody gets hurt.
I didn't know
They
that.
already were.
There are other guards interrogating him too. So I kinda just figured.
Getting enough information for you to understand if they're going to be a threat from there on, that's understandable. That's part of the job. Trying to make enough information to go and get an arrest out of them and find a sentencing or anything like that is overboard.
Well, like I said, I didn't know. Other guards are doing it as well, and when we spoke to the magistrate after, they didn't bring that up, so I didn't know. I will say
It wasn't the proper time.
person was carrying a knife that was on them while they were in the bed. So while I didn't know that at the time when I had to take it off them on the way back. When we brought them to the dungeon. Or cells, whatever you call it. So bring that up because I think whoever brought them to the medical clinic should probably do a more thorough investigation of their person. But the whole thing with the clinic just... I don't know. The other doctors watched their own doctor just kill someone for resisting restraint. Stabbing someone in the neck isn't exactly a shocker that they die. So I don't want to put anyone on the chopping block. Well, I was told she was retrieving training.
She was helping out.
It doesn't matter. The other doctor still watched it happen. And didn't say anything about it, actually. They got mad at me after it happened as well.
Also reprimanded by the magistrate, though?
I have no clue. Like I said, I'm just speaking from my perspective. The part...
You're going to be working with me tomorrow night. We're going to have to get a message from here to North Acre. You're going to be going with me. We have to get it through the night, so that way nobody sees us. And we don't have the...
Why not? Wait, why wouldn't you when no one sees us?
To get a messenger to do it at the moment being. Because we're trying to make our way with some investigations for the Chimera business.
So you mean anyone in town can't see us? Or...
No, anyone on the road.
So what we're doing is illegal? Is that what you're saying?
It's not illegal. We have enemies that are hunting us, and we need to move a message without being caught.
Why me, then?
Because I need somebody to go with me. Originally, I was going to ask around with the other guards. Not many of them would like to, but we'll just act this as your punishment, because it's going to be a long night. We're going to be real tired by the end of it, and we'll call it even after that.
I wouldn't say that's punishment, though. That's just doing my job.
I mean, we'll see how you feel after we're up and done. Regardless, we can't have stuff like this happening, and I definitely don't enjoy the fact that talking about it now, one of the first things that you do is start putting it on other people and talking about other people's business.
Well,
Have a little bit of self-respect for yourself and your own actions.
It felt off to me, that's all. Because I just don't
I'm
feel...
not here to talk about the other stuff. That's what the reports are for. I was here to talk about you.
And I said I apologize. There's not much more I can do without that. I said I'll take my punishment. Whether I explain myself or not, it's not going to change it. Because explaining myself would require me to talk about others. So I'm sorry, but...
Well, if you have to talk about others and talk about their problems like you just were, then that's not talking about you.
What
Don't
else
talk
would I
about your
say about
mistake.
me? I understand I made a mistake. Said I won't do it again. Said I'd take whatever punishment. I also explained how I wasn't... well... didn't know that it wasn't a weapon zone. Other guards were interrogating them, so that's why I joined in. Stuff like that. So I didn't know.
Again, what's on the report? It's not matching up. I'm just talking about what I got on the report.
What was on the report? 'Cause I
Exactly
spoke
what
to
I
the
just
magistrate
said,
about it. Me and
that you
Ava
were
did.
hounding over a person with a flintlock pistol and a sword at one point or another, asking and interrogating them questions whilst in the clinic area.
Yeah, I didn't deny that. I don't understand
And that's all we
what's
have
not
to talk
matching
about.
up. But if there's a report about me that has things that aren't matching up, then I would say that's important.
They're not matching up because you're talking about what everyone else was doing. Like that's an excuse. Next time, just ask me.
Ask you what?
If you have a question about how being a guard works. I'll be more than happy to help you. We need to do our job right. We won't always have the time to do it a second chance. People might get hurt if we do. So I have to take this seriously.
I understand, but I'm not going to be able to go to you for a question when I'm watching someone regardless of whether it's not saying anything about an excuse or anything like that. But, well, there were people crying, stuff like that, so I figured I would just... I don't know, it's totally pointless, but like I said, take whatever reprimand, whatever punishment.
Our job requires us to be ready, not just react. If you're waiting until you're in the moment to know what to do, then it's too late. I'll talk to you tomorrow, or you need to make sure to talk to me. We'll head out. We'll get the job done. We'll consider this a warning otherwise. If you need any help getting in that in, make sure to ask somebody. Don't break your back over it.
Oh well. Time to cut it in half. I'm gonna start rolling like d10s instead. Or d8s. I'll do d8s. Just because it does take a little bit too long, in my opinion. So is that 3 ones or just 2? Okay. I think in the future we switch it to 5 hits per dice. Got my shirt. Alright. I roll a d4 to see how well I do lifting this log. I can't even see it. That's pretty dumb that they... Yeah. Okay, as long as it's not a 1. Actually, wait. After every job, I am going to raise this by 10. Regardless of whether I get injured or not. Alright. So I should roll a d6 for strength, considering my strength is 6. Yeah, so for carrying, I should have rolled d6. The only point of the dice for carrying is see whether I get an injury or not. It's like 3 nat 1s in total of this during this job is a, well, an injury. Or at least I roll a d20 and see how much the percent goes up. But after each individual job, I'll do I will go it up by 10 because it's gonna the fist percent, like that bruising, is how I tell if he's overworked himself. Basically, the amount of chores dailies and quote unquote that I can do a day, kind of thing, without overworking. Let's go along this log over here. Ugh.
Of course.
Yeah. You have all the weapons hidden and stashed all around you, don't you? Yeah, yeah,
Right, let me know if this is too tight.
Very hidden. Incredibly hidden. You could never see them if you try.
Yeah, let me just make sure a little bit extra.
I
Just to
am
be
a
sure.
master
It's
of-
very, very easy, by the way.
What
it's
do
kind of
you
like
say,
tassels to like,
Scott?
kind of like a belt. You
Nice.
do like loops. And all you have to do is pull it right there.
One more log. No, yeah, he did. Well, Luke ended up interrogating someone in the medical bay last session. Well, Luke doesn't fully agree with what Wolfric said. Like, he still thinks that a death is more important than a threat. Like, at least to Luke's eyes, it feels like Wolfric wasn't taking the death importantly, because he said that will be for the magistrate, or that should be in the report. And Luke's like, nah, life is one of the most important things, so that should be dealt with when we can. Like, I'm not gonna wait for a report to save someone, something like that. Now, I hope he's okay with me possibly not being able to go next Monday. He didn't really ask me that, unfortunately. That I'm not the biggest fan of. Out of character, I might need to tell him that, because if he wants me to go on it sounded like a mission. If he wants me to go on a mission, that should have been a out of character scheduled thing. So, we'll have to see. If he's not playing anymore, I might message him about that, because I might not. I don't know, because Monday, is that February? Yeah, that's the 3rd. I don't think I have anything the 3rd specifically. The 3rd, only thing is like a Final Fantasy 14 event, but I can still go to roleplay for that. With the date after is when a game comes out that I'm waiting for. I was going to stay up all night and play as soon as it comes out. So I probably will be in session a little less, I'd say. But also, I don't know, I don't like to schedule a session without knowing it before RP.
Wait, we helped each other. That's okay.
Be careful, log coming through.
Oh.
Please.
Oh, jeez.
Good, you didn't close
Anyone
that.
else out there with you?
Not that I saw.
Holy shit, we almost
Holy shit. Why are you closing the pallets? What? Why are you closing the fucking portcullis?
We do our patrols, and we usually do.
I don't think we've...
Giant hole in the wall. You can
I don't
see it
think we've closed the portcullis before at night.
I always do, so.
The portcullis?
Is there anyone else out there?
Why? Not that I know.
You said it didn't say anyone.
Okay, next time.
Huh. Well, overkill.
Amaris, did you just come from outside? Is anybody else out there?
Oh, I came over from Layla's place. I have no idea. I have no idea if there's anybody out
well,
there.
we just
I think
closed
some
all the
people
gates.
were looking for a goblin that fell down a hole or something.
That's interesting. I haven't done that in the past. One last log. Come on.
I get the feeling something could
actually
happen.
not a bad idea. I need to need the same.
Perhaps I'll take both of you and teach you how to do weapons. I still need to teach you how to use that hammer.
That could be a good idea.
It's not a bad one.
Vincent just brought one tree worth of logs. Put them right there.
Don't worry about it.
So,
Yeah.
Like to be able to demonstrate myself.
How many did you deliver?
one tree worth of logs. I split them in. I split it into two. To carry it easier.
One tree with the logs. All right, understood. Here, come on over.
Have you eaten food today?
All the extra work that you've also done today. 2 gold.
I've
Here
been
you go.
roaming around all day.
Really? You don't need to pay me for the
Something
training.
to eat.
I
Or
should
to
be
eat.
paying you, honestly.
Anyone who is willing to put forth effort into the acknowledgement of a new art or skill deserves praise. So,
Good opportunity to
Well, thank you.
introduce you.
of course, you're welcome.
I'm gonna grab my weapons I set over here. If I see a foxhound that's flying around as a DM, I might ping him. Just because I want to make sure, because if it's a mission, I need to know, like, because I need to put time aside for that. Like a normal RP session, for example, I can skip, because I'm not needed to be there. But if it's a mission where I'm signing up to, then that should be an out-of-character thing before an in-character thing. So, that's why I'm going to ask him, and if it... Oh. I was gonna come in here and get food. I don't want to roleplay eating right now. Well, if it ends up being a, that's why I want to tell him, so we can, before things become set in stone, want to talk to him about it out of character. If it is a mission, I need to be prepared for that. And most likely on the 3rd, I'm going to be leaving session sooner. Because, like I said, I'm going to stay up all night, wait for that game. And I get off around 1 or 2-ish. Though I forget, I guess it depends on what time the game comes out. I need to look that up. But still, I want to confirm things with Foxhound. If I can't talk to him in session, like if he's still playing Wolfric for the rest of the session, then I'll just talk to him after session or DM him. I'm gonna walk around and see if I can, because I don't see Wolfric, and he's most likely playing his DM. He's most likely DMing.
Which hat? These tall round glasses.
Other people were talking to her. Last I saw, she was directly across where the glowing is, but not anymore.
I'm sure they'll find them.
There's a fight going on. She might see him.
You know, I'm wasting time. I'll make his
Trying to debate how Luke is gonna start acting, like, reacting to things now. After that. Because he was told that guards, like, they don't react. They, like, prepare and stuff like that. When that's the exact conversation he had with Ava about, like, you should be, you should have the ability, like, you should be prepared to defend people no matter what. That's the exact point he was trying to give across. The fact that the captain said that, while the lieutenant didn't. Like, he literally turned down Luke's statement. Has Luke a little confused, I'd say. So Luke's probably going to act a lot more cautious. Like, not really involve himself in interrogation in general, unless asked to. Act more like a typical guard, where it just focuses on taking orders instead of making that choice himself. They really closed all the doors. They don't do that, usually. Interesting. Especially the fucking portcullis. I don't see why you need to close a portcullis every night. Considering that would damage it, and that's the type of thing used for sieges. But I don't think they have I'm speaking from like a realistic medieval nerd mindset. So they probably... I doubt Warden takes into account how many times the portcullis was used. Oh, that was someone invisible. I don't see that. But still, I wouldn't close it every single night. Typically, you'd have guards stationed at night. The fucking... Because the portcullis was used as a way... One, as defense, of course. And two, if possible, as, like, to trap people in. Because what would happen is they would leave it open. People would go in, try to break into the actual gate. And then they'd close it, and then pour hot tar or oil on the, like, in between the gate and the fucking portcullis. Portcullis being the metal, like, gate that goes up and down. Then kill them. That was mainly what it was used for. And I don't know about mainly, but one of the things it was used for. Because that was useful. So I'm not 100% sure if they would close it every night, but I don't think so. Honestly, they'd probably leave the gates open as well at night. Because it's a medieval town. So there'd be merchants going in and out, stuff like that. I'm not talking about Warden specifically. I'm talking about, like, realistic medieval towns. The only part that would be closed would be the fort itself. Which is typically would be the middle of the town. Typically where the kings would live, etc. A lot of the town would be outside the walls. And that's where the building of a palisade would come in. The palisade is the wooden walls outside of the stone walls. Palisades are typically built if you're expecting a siege, because it's pretty hard to hide the fact that you're going to siege someone, considering you need a whole army for that. And honestly, during a siege, you could easily build palisades, because a lot of things people, like something that people get confused is invasions and sieges. Sieges weren't the attack. Sieges were the part before it. What a siege was is opposing army would essentially station their armies outside of the of this one like city or kingdom or something like that. Not kingdom, but city. And essentially the whole point of a siege is to starve them. Keep them all, like, they would burn their fields. They would make it so that they can't go out to, like, hunt without being killed. All those kind of things. Make it so that they pretty much have to stay near that city. So, and trade routes, all that stuff would be cut off. So things like, you couldn't get things like food. Food and resources. So the plan was to starve them for a good amount of time, for them to either surrender, or for them to be weak enough that they can just walk in and invade without much of an issue. Because soldiers who can't eat, well, can't really fight that well. So, yeah. That's the whole point of a siege. So a lot of times in a medieval city, the gates would actually be kept open. Because it's a medieval city. The only curfew was typically having a torch, some sort of light on you at night so you can be seen. But that was typically a rule. And you might have needed like some sort of reason or permission to go outside. To be outside at night and stuff. And of course, stick to the main roads, things like that. So you're not like looking like you're just skulking. But since merchants would go in and out all the time, they would leave the gates open a lot of the time. And they would have guards and stuff stationed around to, because a palisade you can close decently easily without much of a worry. Like it can close pretty quickly. The gate itself might be a little more of a struggle, but an army's not going to get through that gate super easily because it's like, well, because that'd be the size of a normal gate. Since it's a thinner area, you can really only fit like maybe 6 or 7 guys through. And 6 or 7 guys through that gate, while there's a bunch of archers on top of it, easily shoot at them. So if you can't get the gate closed before some people get in, they're pretty much fucked. A lot of the time, armies wouldn't rush towards a building anyways. Like, you wouldn't see people at the gates using like the fucking batting ram, whatever they're called, battering ram. You typically wouldn't see that because that would be suicide. Archers were one of the most terrifying things in medieval times. You would see that once the army pushes up, yeah, but it wouldn't be like just a bunch of foot soldiers on the ground fighting while someone's trying to break down the gate. No, it would be a bunch of people with shields surrounding the people trying to break down the gate so that they don't get hit by arrows. Because an arrow to the neck, chest, whatever, that's death. And then when crossbows got introduced, it was even worse because crossbows could go through light armor and sometimes plate. So they were deadly. Like, you needed a shield. Shields are one of the most important parts of like a classic foot soldier's like arsenal. If they're going into like that level of close range combat and like arrows, shit like that. Because, well, yeah, the city might be able to defend their walls super easily. If you don't have access to food, it doesn't matter how much you defend your walls. Your city's not going to survive because you need food. So a lot of the time, armies probably wouldn't have just stormed the gates. They probably would have just continued fight. Like the war would happen outside of the that's probably the battle would probably just be happening outside the walls for long periods of time, and the actual city itself would be forced to send out soldiers to fight because they need to gain the ability to have food again. That's the point of a siege. Like I said, it would be a lot of waiting. Might end in a surrender, might end in just being able to walk in and shit like that. And also, big like castle walls like this weren't the first line of defense. They were typically the second or third. Because, like I said, there'd be a palisade. Though for Leafside specifically, it would be hard to do a palisade considering how much hills we have around us. So we would be forced to use these as our main line of defense. Whoever built the, like, in character, not in character, but in lore, I'm sure the setting is not a realistic medieval setting. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm not saying this is how it should be done. No, I'm just... One sec. Yeah.
Potato.
Thank you. I'm not hungry right now, so... But, thank you. But I'm more speaking in like a what if this was a realistic medieval setting, that sort of sense. So I'm not saying this is what they should have done. I'm not saying how dare they set the city up like this. But in realistic medieval times, this city would be very, very poorly set up because you wouldn't set up a city like this near hills. Like, it would be smaller. It would be much closer to the port. Then, like, the city would be cut in half, so there'd be a bit of flat land between the walls and the hills. Because 1, you need that to grow food. 2, for defense. The high ground is always better in a fight, regardless of whether it's ranged or melee. Now that being said, that would make the city much smaller, and that would cause a lot of struggle. But it would thrive. Like, a city like this could do without farms because they have a seaport. They would just need to have good trade. And in a siege where the trade lines are cut off, that one cuts off their money and their food in a single go. Like, it is, especially with all the hills and stuff, they could very easily siege this place in a realistic manner of a siege. Because there's so many hills, they would only need to defend certain like pathways. Instead of making a perimeter around the place, you just need to defend the exit ways for the hills. So you would need less men. The hardest part would be would not defending, sorry, like setting up. The hardest part would be preventing them from going out to sea, because you would need a bunch of ships. That would take the most resources. But other than that, the rest of the place is pretty easy. In, like I said, a realistic manner of sieging a city. Of course, this is not a one-to-one realistic RP. It's not intended to be that. So we don't need to worry about that, but still. Like I said, I'm a medieval nerd, so I like speculating and stuff. Like, even when I'm playing a game or an anime game, I'll take it in a, I'll talk about it and be like, hey, this is... I'm trying to look for Wolfric again. Because I want to ping... I want to ping, I want to see, because the reason I'm opening the menu so much, because I want to see nameplates, because if I see him flying around invisible, I'm going to ping DMs and ask for him. Because I want to get I want to understand whether it's a mission or just this is going to happen in between session type thing. Prepared, because, well, scheduling, of course. I should have probably asked him that. Like, we're doing a little out of character, when is this kind of thing, when we were there, but I didn't, my mistake. Wolfric is fucking intimidating as fuck, though. Like, I agree with what he said. Like, I agree with Luke being reprimanded and stuff. He shouldn't have done what he did. Like I said, Luke is supposed to be pretty carefree, and that makes him pretty reckless. He's lived a life of a mercenary and a peasant. He didn't really receive much teaching or training. So it's fully understandable that he wouldn't understand that. He would see other people doing it and be like, I should do it too. When he really should have made his own choice and been like, no, probably shouldn't. Or this probably is not the place to do it. And a lot of his medical experiences would have been just doing medical at a camp. So the idea of a actual clinic being a place you don't pull out weapons probably wouldn't have occurred to him immediately, especially in this situation. So I fully agree, like that. I do agree that Luke was in the wrong. The only part of it that I'm a little iffy about, not out of character, but it is the, like I said earlier, is the whole, I should probably grab a lantern. It is the whole, value of life type thing. At least from Luke's eyes, it kind of felt like Wolfric kind of shrugged off the fact that someone died in front of doctors, and it wasn't the fact that that person that killed him wasn't a doctor. It was the fact that the other doctors watched that, didn't say a single thing about it, and decided to get mad at someone else instead of the person that straight up murdered someone in their own building. That's what Luke was talking about. That's like last session I talked to Ava about that. That's the exact conversation we had. That's the only part that Luke is iffy about, because as soon as he started bringing that up, which he feels is a very, very important thing, Wolfric kind of just shrugged it off. When there wasn't really... Luke couldn't say anything else about it, and he didn't immediately start by talking about that as well. So that's the only part that in character Luke is a little iffy about. Fuck, I didn't even light it. But the rest of it, he does agree. Like, when Luke says that, yeah, I'll take the punishment, he means it. He's like, I fully understand that I did something wrong. He said it right after it happened. He said it to Ava, he said it to the magistrate, all that sort of stuff, and he said it now. So, yeah. Because of that, Luke is definitely going to take things a little bit more cautious. He's not going to do anything like that unless he's asked. Of course, he is still going to defend someone. If someone is being violent, he's not going to sit there and be like, I gotta wait for an order. Or not gonna, if he doesn't know whether he should defend someone or not, but there's violence happening, he's not going to go to Wolfric and be like, what should I do? Or something like that. Even if Luke loses his job, his whole philosophy is whether I die, lose my job, or whatever, as long as the person I'm protecting is alive, that's what matters. His whole philosophy is not like, I'll protect them as much as I can. It's like, no, I will protect them. If I die doing it, that means I failed. I didn't protect them. So, yeah. Is that character new? I don't recognize him. They look cool, though. But yeah, so that's how Luke's gonna try to take this. Now, whether that's the right mindset for him or not, who knows? Like I said, Luke is very new to this sort of stuff. His life was very much mercenary life. He never really worked in a hierarchy, shit like that. That's not something that he did. Because, well, like I said, he was mercenary. He grew up on the road, all that sort of shit. I just really want to try to find Foxhound. I need to ask him, because I don't want to... I'm just worried that if I wait till after session, he might leave before I'm able to talk to him. I'm just worried about that, because I could always DM him after, but still. Sorry for the interruption. I'm just going to pass by. So yeah, it's... I don't know, I'm just worried. It sounded like he was trying to set up like a mission or talk something like related to that. It sounded like it. So I want to confirm whether it is or not. Because I did sign up for like scouting stuff for the overall, like the whole operation, which is going to be like a series of missions or something. But at least from my eyes, I did not sign up for a specific date. So I want to get that figured out. Like I fully understand. I do not think Foxhound was doing that as a like. I think when I talk to him about it, and even if I say no to like the date that he mentions, if it is a mission, I think he'll be perfectly fine with it. I don't think he had any ill intent with trying to talk to me about setting up a mission before I signed up for anything or said that I could. I do feel like maybe he should have reached out to me out of character before the session and been like, hey, can I talk to your character about this? Stuff like that. But it could have also been something that they that he thought of or talked to another character and they thought of it during session. So we didn't exactly have we didn't exactly have a he could have maybe not had the moment to DM me because it was NRP type thing. So I don't like it's kind of it's not a bad thing. It's just you have to touch up, freaking talk to him and stuff like that, figure things out. Because I think on the 3rd, at least I would like to be out of session a little earlier than I usually do. Because, like I said, there's a game coming out the next day, and I kind of want to be like up and raring to go. Plan is to sit in a call with my partner, watch some YouTube videos about the game, get all hyped for it, and then download it when it releases and play like an hour or two of it before I go to bed. Stuff like that. I even bought energy drinks so I'd be able to stay awake. I used one a few days ago, but I'm saving the second one for that. Probably isn't a great idea. I'll definitely ruin my sleep schedule a bit, but it's something I win for a long time. So if it's super late in the session, I guess it depends on what time, because I usually leave session around midnight 1-ish, is usually when I plan to leave. Now, whether that means, whether that means that I'm able to, if, for example, if it's around like 12 or 1, I probably could. I don't think I need to get off that early, but it also depends. It really depends on my mood and stuff like that. Because like if I can schedule something ahead, like for example, if I knew that I was going to be put into a mission, if it is a mission today, like before session today, then I would have been able to like, I guess I just want to get it planned and scheduled before it becomes an issue. So, regardless of whether I can find Foxhound... Wait, was that Foxhound flying around? I think it was. Alright, I'm gonna go to the barracks and ping him. Whether I can find him or not and talk to him before a session or after session, still gonna DM him, of course, but... Not doing much right now, kinda wanna let him know right now, in case I forget. Because it is late. And also power might go out. So, don't want the power to go. We're gonna go look for him. Is there a... Okay, I believe these barrels delete these. Right? No. That's not one of the deleting barrels. They might only be outside. Your army we're using for attacking Leaf Side, how would I attack Leaf Side? Well, the siege would begin by covering up the entrances to the city. Because the city is surrounded by a lot of hills and mountains, so a lot of the entrances are pretty narrow. There's not like a big field out there. I'd start by that because I would take up the least amount of men and stuff like that. It would also be the least invasive, so they might not notice it, because I wouldn't need as much men, stuff like that. And then I would work to, like, basically set up a brigade of ships outside of the docks, so that they can't get food, things like that. I would also begin maybe pouring, like, feces or something into the water so the fish die, so they can't fish for food as well. That being said, if I have all the resources for that, the ships aren't exactly cheap. I'd do that until they either surrender or maybe do it for half a year type thing. And then walk right in. And whether we fight or not depends on how much food they stockpiled, etc. Stuff like that. Now, in terms of actually attacking it, I'd probably focus my attack on the port side, considering it is a small port. So I could probably just berate them with cannonballs. And, like, since the whole city is facing the port, you can hit the entire city pretty much with cannonballs. I could hit the opposite walls with cannonballs and then have my army walk in on the other side. That's very possible because of the way the port is facing. That being said, that would be me hoping that they don't have their own ships, like docked with cannons. Hello. I need to talk with Fox about something. If you're able to get him, because I need to just double confirm something that he talked to me about earlier. I don't know if he's currently DMing or not. Because he was playing Wolfric last time I saw him.
What is it that you said you were asking about again? I'm sorry.
He talked to my character about taking Luke on some sort of run to get information or something like that. Get the exact details. I wanted to ask if it was because it sounded kind of like it was going to be a mission. I wanted to ask if it was a mission or not, and I wanted to talk to him because, well, scheduling stuff. There is a chance next Monday I might have to leave. Might leave a little early. So wanted to speak to him about that before I forgot. And power might go out soon as well, since this is high winds. So that's why I'm doing it now and not in the after lobby. It is annoying how power might go out though. When I need to quickly talk to someone. It went out last night. And whether it'll go out today, I don't know. But the weather advisory, the fire department, they all said, like, high winds, be careful, make sure to charge your stuff. That whole spiel, which is important and useful. I don't know. I think I saw a Foxhound nameplate, because I was looking for the nameplates. I think I saw it flying around. I don't think he was playing Wolfric, but I could have been mistaken it, I hope. So, get this figured out. If it is a mission, and depending on the time of the day, hell yeah. That'll be awesome. I'm fully down for a mission. I need to figure out the day. Well, yes, the day, but also the actual time. Because if it's next Monday, I would like to get off a little bit early. Because I need to, one, download the game. So, the pre-download. Don't know if they are doing that before. And then two, I just want to hang out with my partner, get hyped about the game, and play the game right when it's released. So, I forget the actual time it comes out, but it was like somewhat early morning, 5, 6 a.m., something like that. So I would like to get off around midnight. Typically, I'll end RP around midnight or 1 and then sit in the pre-lobby and talk to people for a bit. So, depending on what time it is, if it's like late in the day and like during the session, then I might, like, it's a little iffy. Because I'm not going to get involved in a mission when it's like an hour or 2 from the time I get off. Because that's when I want to start winding down. But who knows? It also depends. It really depends how I feel as well. Like, because it was a very sudden knowledge of a possibility of a mission, so don't exactly have a didn't exactly plan it out before I already had other basically I already planned to do something that night and next Monday. If I knew about this mission before, then I would have planned for the mission before. But luckily, it might still fit in the schedule. Depending on what time during the session it is. If it is next Monday. There is a chance I won't want to go to RP at all next Monday, though, because of how I'm waiting for this game for a long ass time. So I don't know if because VR really tires me out. So, honestly, there is a good chance that if I go on VR, I'll ruin my excitement for it, because I get tired and shit. Ruin my excitement for the game, I mean. So, we'll see. I'll talk to Foxhound about it. He did say tomorrow in character, so I assume that means next session. That's the only reason I'm assuming that. I don't know if I should wait. I guess he can teleport to me, so I don't really need to be standing here. I should probably go return the... Well, I'm gonna use a lantern when I go out. I'm not done RP just yet. It's fucking Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Monster Hunter Wilds doesn't come out until the 28th of February, I believe, but the beta starts on the 6th. The open beta too. So, technically it's close to it, but not the game I'm talking about. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is just a game I've been waiting for a long ass time. I'm so excited for it. I've been watching videos for it to keep my hype up, all that sort of shit. So I wanted to play it as soon as it released, was the plan. Because, like, I know if I go to sleep while knowing that it's out without having played it, I'll be sitting there being like, I'll be anxious and excited because, like, is it an actual good game? Oh, is it good? Like, oh god. And then I'll also be too excited to sleep. That whole shit happens all the time. When I was younger, I used to not be able to sleep before, like, Christmas. Like, I'd be so excited for Christmas that I just genuinely could not sleep. So, whenever I get super excited over something, sleeping is hard. Especially with something that I know that is, like, I can be doing right now. So that's why I want to get, like, an hour or two in that night, because at that point, well, Simon will still be there, but I won't be, like, I would have played it for a little bit. And then it's also the feeling of a game you've been waiting for a long-ass time, a game that you pre-order, that sort of thing, worrying that it's going to be bad. It's like a lot of games that have came out recently have had a poor release with glitches and that sort of shit, and have not followed what they have said that they will. This door more broken than normal. Looks different. So it's also a mix of that. Like, first game was really good, but it was really janky and had a lot of like it tried to do things to make it feel realistic, but in turn, those realistic things made it feel more like a game because it added jank. So I am hoping it's not bad. It looks good, all the gameplay stuff they're showing, and everyone that received early access for playing, like all the reviewers and stuff, are saying it's good. They're saying it's more of the first game, but like way more polished, way more accessible, that sort of stuff. So hopes are high, and chances are pretty good that it's actually going to be good, but there's still the anxiety there, of course. It's not like they did a public open beta type thing or anything like that, so I never got my chance to play it. Like Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm pretty confident it's going to be good because I played the previous beta. And it was fun, it was really good. Server issues a little bit, but that's the whole point of a beta, is to test that.
Luke.
Yeah?
If you happen to be looking for the captain, he's waking up.
Oh. Well, out of character, I was looking for the person who plays the captain. So.
Do you need to ask him something?
Yes, I need to ask him something out of character. I told Hot Beef, I believe their name was, when I pinged. But if Fox is currently in character, then I can wait. But
Join our channel on Discord.
okay, it's not super big, but well, it's important to me at least.
It's just the easiest way to do it.
Do you want me to like say something? I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Hi Mango, you can just chat. Just you can ask the question here in Fox's thing.
Oh, hello. Sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to double check with Fox. When you talked to me about like Luke and Wolfert going somewhere next session, is that like a mission or something, or?
No, it's like a downtime punishment thing.
Okay, so in between session?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Because I was gonna leave the next sessions like a little bit early. Possibility I might not be able to show up. So sounds good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to ask. So thank you.
All right, gotcha.
If you ever need to chat with us on Discord, there should be a ping called Request GM Radio, and then we'll usually pull you into the Discord.
I didn't know that's. I thought that was like the. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, I didn't actually know that meant the Discord stuff. Good to know. Well, now that we know it's in between session, fuck yeah, that means I can easily do it without any worry. assume that it'll either be in between this session and next session, or next session and the session after that. Sounds awesome. I was worried it was a mission. Really worried. Because I'm all down for missions, but I already had ideas to do stuff. And I know I said it's a possibility of me not being able to go, but I worded it a little bit wrong in the VC. It's more just, I don't know. I have other priorities that day, I guess. Best way to put it. But I don't have to worry about that at all. What the fuck? They're laughing. Was right behind me. Am I still in the VC? No. Weird. I feel like my viewpoint's a little bit lower. Am I going crazy? Oh, there's someone up there. There's not a gift here, stuff behind me. I'm like, what the fuck going on?
Together, baby.
Another deletion? Yep. Tavern's not open. I would have gone into the tavern, but it's not open right now. I might sit down for a sec. But yeah, I'm very glad it's not a mission thing. That means we can do it. Well, not literally do it because it's not in session, but still, you know what I mean. Characters can do it. Which is awesome. Honestly, with how Luke is, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually he gets kicked off the guard. Because of his reckless behavior. Well, it's not recklessness specifically, it's he's carefree because he doesn't know. He doesn't know about a lot of things, how the world works, stuff like that. So he's not doing it as a way to be reckless. He's not looking at it and being like, this is dangerous, but I'll do it anyways. He's doing it as like, it's a genuine mistake. And him like talking that way during it, like he wasn't trying to make excuses. Probably sounded like it though. It's because that's how he's used to talking. Like I said, he's not very good at social stuff, things like that. So, yeah, that's just how he is. I made him specifically to be your typical adventurer. Doesn't know anything about the world socially, stuff like that. I hope Wolfwork will realize that. Like, and maybe even help him get some more teaching, stuff like that. Because I've roleplayed out Luke specifically doing and training more physical things. I have not roleplayed him out the more like mental parts of it, intelligent parts of training. Because Luke never received that as a kid, so it's not his first go-to. His first go-to is refine the skills I already have. Refine the skills that I have interest in. He never grew up at all with any of the whole, like, needing to read or knowledge, school, that whole thing. So it's not really on the tip of his mind. So that's the kind of thing that someone needs to push him to do. So someone will need to get him to. Whether that'll happen or not, that's outside of my control. I think Luke is fine as he is as a character. Because naturally, he's going to start changing. And realizing that the way he takes things more carefree and stuff doesn't exactly work. Like how today is, like I said, he's going to start being a little more cautious with guard work, waiting to be told to do something before doing it, things like that. That's the whole point of Luke, is that over time he's going to change, I guess. The plan was to have it when more like bad things, like people die, etc., stuff like that, not just being reprimanded for a mistake. Like, what I mean, very, very bad things. He's going. My plan was for him to become less excitable, less happy, because he's realizing the world. But that sort of stuff, like what Wolfric came over and talked to him about, isn't really that. That's more him just realizing that the way I acted wasn't good, even though I thought it was fine. Like, because he hasn't received really proper teachings and that sort of stuff, he's still very much, like, mentally kind of like a child and like, social stuff. And the dad he grew up with was very, like, I'm sure you guys saw the last, like, it was 2 sessions ago, his whole breakdown when he couldn't save his friend. Like, they died and stuff, so he was panicking because he's not used to losing someone. Like, he's used to everything he does succeeding. When he was with his dad, he only ever did what he was told, and he knew the outcomes of those. So him having to make his own, like him making his own decision and then that getting someone killed was like god damn it, stuff like that, because he wasn't taught to make his own decisions. His dad was very much someone that you wouldn't want raising you. So he struggles a lot with that sort of thing. Something he needs to grow out of. It's the character I made, and I'm excited to play him. And call off work for monster. I wouldn't personally. I don't think you're gonna miss out on progress. It's Monster Hunter. Like, everyone has their own pace. Like, I could speed through it if I wanted, but or I could grind every single monster until I get all the weapons, stuff like that. So I don't think you miss out on progress at all. Now, what I would recommend is playing it a bit during the open beta, because you do get rewards in the main game if you play the beta on the same account that you are going to play the game after release. So at least play it for like an hour or two, so you can make sure to get those. But I wouldn't put work aside for a game. Like, maybe on the release date if you want to play it that right when it releases, sure. But just to, like, besides that, like putting, like, even like during the beta or something, or after it releases, I don't think you should put work aside for that. Because work's pretty important. Like, a game release is a time-sensitive thing, but once the game is out, you can play it whenever, so you don't really need to put work aside. Yeah, and it's Monster Hunter. The progress isn't really, like... It's a more open-world Monster Hunter as well, so progress, like gathering materials, is probably going to be a lot more natural. Like, instead of having to load into an expedition to farm for, like, bone piles, you can just, while making your way to the area that the monster that you want to hunt is in, pick him up while you go. Because there isn't like a time limit of as soon as you load in, you have a time limit when the monster's going to run away. I assume it's once you get into the monster's area, then the time limit starts where the monster will run away. So you have a lot more freedom. It's going to be really good for people who play bow and like bowgun, because the materials to make the coatings and the ammo, you can pretty much just get naturally as you go through the game. You can do expeditions a lot more, like, it'll feel almost like an MMO, because you can just run into players and stuff, because just join a server with a bunch of people. You don't have to load into an expedition and wait for people to join that expedition. It's like, no, they're just part of the open world. It's really cool. So progression is probably going to be a little more smoother. There's definitely still going to be like the whole hunt this same monster over and over again to get the materials and shit. But that's fine. I'm down for that. That's Monster Hunter. Enjoy that, the grindy part of it. But unless you want to play it as soon as it releases, don't put time away. Like, sure, if you want to put time away on the day that it releases so you can play it all day on the first day, sure, I'd consider that fine. But like I said before, past that, don't really think it's needed. It's not like even with the beta is going to last multiple days, so it's not like if you're going to miss it from just going to work during the day. After work, play it for like an hour or two. Well, then again, I'm also not super, like, sure. Like, I guess if your work isn't too strict with it, you could technically ask for a few days off and stuff. Because, well, one, yeah, you're doing it on days to play a game, Well, 2, it's also just a break for yourself. Whether you're playing a game or not, a break from work is pretty good. It could be useful. So I guess it depends on you. I wouldn't schedule a break for like more than a week. Like, obviously, you don't want to push it for just a game. But I also don't know what your job is. I only had 2 jobs. One was via school, it was a temp job. And 2, I worked at a pizza place. The temp one, I worked at a cat shelter. The pizza place was a little more lenient. Well, I guess it depends. If you wanted to get days off, you need to find someone else to take your shift. And everyone else were assholes. Everyone else wouldn't take your thing at all. That would never happen. You'd reach out to someone, they'd just say, no, screw you. And then they would constantly put me on cashier over and over again when I specifically stated many times that I do not want to do this. This is not a position I want to be put on. But the person, our quote-unquote person that was our higher-up because they were there longer, was an asshole and constantly put people on stuff that she didn't want to do. That was it. She was a bitch. Everyone in the entire store always said that she was, whenever we talk like after work and stuff. She was the type of person that would at every single moment act like she's better than everyone else. As soon as someone does something, like makes a mistake, like maybe they accidentally drop a utensil, for example, and they go to pick it up, go clean it, etc., she would make fun of them. She'd get mad at them for doing that. Because she always thinks that she's better than everyone else, that sort of thing. She was just an asshole. And her and a few others would make fun of the, like, more mentally disabled people there. And I mean genuinely mentally disabled. Like there was multiple people who had pretty strong autism and stuff like that working there. And her and a few others would make fun of them. They would constantly be bullied for messing up or not working the way that they want, things like that. When it's fucked. Like, that shouldn't be you making fun of them. You should try to be like, hey, what can we do to make this better for you? What can we do to make this easier? Because a lot of time, it's just a small change. That being said, a few of the people, like, well, one specifically that had autism, did make some stupid decisions that I think was not good. Like on Halloween, he decided to dress up as like John Wick or something, so he wore a full suit to a pizza place, and then got mad when they were trying to make him work because he didn't want to get dirty. So the whole thing is that he brought a suit to a job. He's not new to it either, so he knew that it would get dirty. Stuff like that, a little bit too far. Small things like, I don't know, being overwhelmed from sounds, or dropping something. Like being overwhelmed from sounds and then going to the back to take a break, shouldn't get in trouble for that. I think you should get in trouble if you get mad at other people for being too loud. Like, like when they're just talking normally, but it's overwhelming for you. I think getting mad at the other people it's probably not a good thing. I think the only time related to that you can get mad at someone is if you ask, like, if they are specifically being loud as a way to defy you. Like, maybe you say, hey, I'm being overwhelmed, something like that, and then they start getting louder as a way to be like, yeah, no, fuck you. That, obviously, I think they're in the wrong, obviously, but if you're the one being overwhelmed because you might like overwhelmed by sounds, I think you should remove yourself. You can't really expect other people to change for you, around you, especially in a job setting where you don't really control the people that are around you. In your own house, yeah, you could ask people to leave or something like that because it's your own house. But in a public setting, you can't really control the people that are around you, and everyone around you can't just be I don't know. You can't expect them to be able to change for you. Especially when you have the ability to remove yourself from the situation. Yeah, we had a lot of like people with autism and stuff working there, and they would have genuine issues that like are not their fault at all, but this one person would just get so fucking mad at them and make fun of them, shit like that. It was awful. Has Luke fought any monsters recently? Recently? No, not really. Not really. The last job he went on in his, like, monster hunting profession, or, like, mercenary, because it's not just monster hunting, that's the focus, yes, but they take other jobs, too. Last one he went on is, I didn't give many details of the actual job itself, because it's a background thing, and it happened in between sessions, but it was just some fight, like, some job or whatever, where one of his party members died, and that's why he has a new sword, because it was them. That gave him the sword, and he was very depressed about that. I wouldn't say it was a monster, though. So no, and after that, he's decided that he's not going to be going on jobs with his party as much, because his party as a whole is taking a break. So, because the original plan of making that backstory, of him having like a party that he goes on mercenary jobs with over and over again, is because I was going to alternate Wardens out with Aether, because I wanted to go to both. But now I'm focusing more on Wardens, so the only time that he's going to go out on a job with his party will probably be when I'm not able to go, or when, like, Wardens goes on a break and does a time skip. Stuff like that. It's going to be a lot less frequent. So, yeah. But no, he hasn't fought any, like, monsters. There were a few others, though, that went on a mission last session that they, I don't know if they fought chimeras in general, but they brought one back because it was actually kept the intelligence of the human that it merged, it was forced to merge with and stuff like that. So they might have fought some, but Luke wasn't on that. I'm just rambling a lot. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot of energy right now. Originally wasn't even planning to get on, like I said, but I decided to say fuck it, let's do it. Thinking around 12-ish, I might go back to the, like, spawn and just sit there and chat with people. The tavern is open, though. That might be fun to check out. Like, give me some more energy. But yeah. Not super in a roleplay mood today, but figured that I don't feel like crap like I did earlier because I felt kind of sick and stuff. So I figured I would go. Oh yeah, something to mention. I'm going to be joining a new RP soon. It will be another RP on Saturday called Tempest Bay. I've submitted my character and stuff. There's no real reason that I won't be able to get in. This might make changes to the character. They have pretty open slots right now. I don't even know if they do a whole slot system, but still. It is a sci-fi cyberpunk setting, very similar to NDA. It's on the same day as NDA, so I'll most likely be alternating out NDA. I'm still on a break from NDA, and I probably will be for... I plan to return maybe mid-February, end of February, around then. Just because I've been there almost every single session since season 1, so yeah. Needed the break. But so once I do go back to NDA, I'll be alternating them out. Before I go back to NDA, I probably will just be going.
As I believe the
Good thing is I don't need this anymore.
She's fucking on it.
Play Santa Sing also herpes.
But yeah, that's the whole thing with it.
Don't.
Yeah, Tempest Bay. I've recommended. A few of my friends fucking recommended me the RP, and it looks awesome. The character I'm making for it, I'm super excited to play. I get to play a Ripper Dog, proper Ripper Dog. Just something light.
Excuse me.
Just simple, light. Yeah.
Okay.
They're singing nothing but your praise. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course. I thought they enjoyed it. Okay, I'll get you something. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm super excited for it. Super happy with the model. I went overboard with one of the weapons the model has. But it is. I love the animations I did for it. I'm so happy to show it off. I think Tempest Bay is on break right now, so it might be a bit until I can go there. Honestly, I might come off of NDA break and Tempest Bay might start up again at the same time. I don't know. Really depends. The NDA thing is more of a just when I feel like I can go back type thing. Because a lot of shit going on with both life and also needing a break from it and all that sort of stuff.
So here is a glass of red wine for you. That will be 4 copper, please.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you as well.
Yes,
How can I help you?
I think after this, I might head off.
I guess she hasn't made it.
I don't know. I might go to the guard barracks and head off. Because that's giving me a headache.
Beyond the food.
Well, then again, I'm probably going to stay on VR and hang out, though, so I don't know. My brain when I'm in VR is like, headache is just a part of it. Oh well.
Racing me the whole way down the street.
It's up on the mountains now.
Yes.
I would say Luke's pretty shocking, like just fucking shaken up from that conversation. He's not like depressed, but he's definitely. It's his first time receiving reprimand for something like that in like a professional manner.
That'll be
Nothing too much.
Just last session ended off with depression as well.
I guess they're learning a lesson.
I was hoping today wouldn't. I was hoping this session was more chill. Now, luckily that wasn't as like bad as it was before. I don't know if there's a way I could ask like the DMs and actually no, I probably can't ask the DMs and say, hey, I just want today to be calm. If I'm at the point where I can't handle stress, like stressful RP, I just won't go that day. So, well, I was hoping that today would be a little less stressful than last session. It was still fun. Those tense, stressful moments in RP are fun. I enjoy them. But I did want to get a day. I did just want to kind of like train today. But I got in a large amount of blacksmith training, which is what the main thing I wanted to do. So everything's fine. So no hate on Wolfric at all for talking to me. No out of character or in character hate, obviously. I always worry that whenever those tense situations happen, conversations, that the other person is thinking that I might be feeling that way out of character. I hope not. I don't think Fox would. He's pretty cool. But I'm probably going to call it a night. Well, for a roleplay, I mean. I'm gonna sit in the spawn for a little bit just to chat with people. But yeah. Thank you all for watching though. You're all amazing. Whether I go next Monday or not, don't really know for sure. Yeah. Now, tomorrow is Waypoint. I have zero clue whether I'm going to have energy to go to Waypoint or not. Waypoint can sometimes be hard because it's right after RP. I love the RP though, so I want to try. So, actually, wait. I don't stream Waypoint. I probably won't stream it. I usually don't stream it because my character is super like social, so like, well, they not by social, but they don't have a whole lot of like combat stuff. So the only things they get involved in is really just managing books and stuff. So I'll put on like an anime or something while playing the character, and just act like he's just reading a book. Because it's the whole idea of the character is that he's a more relaxing character to play when I'm stressed kind of thing. But who knows? We'll see if I stream it or not. Most likely not, but still. Have a good night, everyone. Love you all, though. I'm gonna respawn so I don't interrupt people if they come in. Yeah, love you all amazing. I will see you all later. Most likely Monday. I do want to try streaming, maybe not Kingdom Come Deliverance, but I want to try streaming, like, if we're allowed to stream during the open beta of Wilds, I do want to try streaming that. So, I want to try streaming more just in general, whether it's RP or not. I say that a lot, but I just need to get the energy and find time for it. Yeah, love you all. I will see you later. Goodbye.